visit of the Australian Prime Minister here to India. He, remember, is on a 4-day visit, and you're looking at these live images of the Australian Prime Minister on INS Vikrant.
Sir, this way.
Thank you. We can cut it again. It's a big cake.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
We have some interaction with our men.
Please.
So we are just looking at these images on our screens, and let's tell our viewers a little bit more about what they are seeing, what is the significance. Now you see the Australian Prime Minister right now on INS Vikrant. Now why is this important? Because this is India's very first indigenous aircraft carrier, that is the INS Vikrant. He also earlier has received a Guard of Honor. He earlier, remember, was also with the Prime Minister at the Motera Stadium. Later he is also going to be headed to Mumbai, to Delhi, and it's a power-packed visit of the Australian Prime Minister, who right now is also taking some time to reflect on his thoughts as he's penning down what he's feeling, his experience right now in the visitor's book there as he's on board the INS Vikrant. That is India's first indigenous aircraft carrier. And like I said, remember, there are a lot of key takeaways from this extremely significant visit of the Australian Prime Minister, who's going to be spending all of today and the next 2 days here in the national capital. Now, what really has been the focus as far as the conversation goes, you have seen a lot of cricket pe charcha, cricket diplomacy. There is also, remember, the soft power that India has displayed as far as the ski visit is concerned. And coming down to brass tacks, there is a lot of focus on trade, on a lot of rare earth metals again. That is the focus of the visit of the Australian Prime Minister. And like we've all seen in the past, remember, you have seen both Canberra and New Delhi getting closer in the last few months, so to say. And this is a relationship that has been nurtured by both New Delhi and Canberra, keeping their own interests in mind, but also of the new power play that you're looking in the global world order that India today is a significant player on. The Australian Prime Minister on his India visit, he is spending time on the INS Vikrant. This is, one would say extremely important. It's a very powerful picture because this, ladies and gentlemen, is India's first indigenous aircraft carrier, that is the INS Vikrant. And you have seen a lot of push from
we share an unwavering commitment to upholding the rules.
And we'll also try and listen in.
And ensuring that Indo-Pacific is open, inclusive and prosperous. I'm pleased to report that there's never been a busier or more productive time in our defence and security partnership. Last year we conducted more exercises, operations and dialogues than ever before. And today I've been very proud to meet with the naval officers and personnel here on this magnificent aircraft carrier who participated in exercises with the Australian Navy in recent times. In a major step forward in our relationship, India and Australia undertook maritime control aircraft deployments to each other's territories for the first time. In November alone, we conducted increasingly complex and sophisticated exercises in Indo-Pacific Endeavour and Exercise Austrahart. This was capped off by Exercise Malabar, where we bolstered our military interoperability with India alongside close.
So that brief comment that has just come in from the Australian Prime Minister, who's reiterating why this visit is so very important. And like I said, the INS Vikrant, remember, is an aircraft carrier in service with the Indian Navy. It's the first to be built in India, was constructed by the Cochin Shipyard Limited in the state of Kerala. And this is the Indian prowess on display yet again. As India continues, remember, to put its focus on Atmanirbhar Bharat, the visit of the Australian Prime Minister to India. And, Abhishek, watching him right now on the INS Vikrant, spending time there, talking about the achievements that India has made over the past many years. And he's reiterating the fact that India today has come of age and India today is an equal partner when it comes to the new world order.
Absolutely. And Deepthi, as we stay on these pictures, remember this is an indigenous aircraft carrier, and that shows India's increasing military, homegrown military might, with as many as 500 MSMEs contributed to this aircraft carrier, which is now being showcased for the Australian Prime Minister. Also remember, just later this year, Australia would be hosting a full-fledged Quad Malabar exercises. Malabar exercises have been happening, but this is the first time that Australia is back with a bang. Remember, they had drifted away from military cooperation with India post their cozying up to China over the last decade, which is now, insofar as Quad is considered, is called the lost decade. Post 2017, things have really picked up, and this is the first time that all the four navies of the United States, India, Japan and Australia would be participating in the Malabar exercises, which by itself have been happening since the 1990s, but the Quad navies participating after a hiatus, and that's significant. Okay. So the showcase of Indian military, showcasing of Indian military might happening there with the Australian Prime Minister. Remember, there is an element of making sure that the sea lanes remain clear in Indo-Pacific, and the cooperation between the navies a significant component of that, and that's why the visit of Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to INS Vikrant gains that much more prominence.
Yes, so fascinating pictures, fascinating insight. Abhishek, as always, leading the coverage. I thank you right now, Abhishek. Time for us also to quickly head into a break right now, but there's lots more lined up when we come back.